this video. This one's going to be a follow-up from day one on ROK. So we're going to be talking about server 4002 and the drama, because of course the server that Atlas is on has to have drama. So first off, I'm just going to show the account development. I'm going to talk about some of the stuff, and then I'm going to get into the drama. So if you want to skip ahead, you can skip ahead to the drama part. So, just been developing. I'm slow building City Hall 22, just because it's going to give me some... 22, it's going to give me the 5 legions, and it's going to give me, like, what, 150k, 180k PowerPoints. Can I see that? I can't see that while I'm building it. Okay. You can see it before you build it. How much power it's going to give you. I think it's 180k. I believe day one of the Mightiest Gov, so that happens in 4 hours and 13 minutes as Mightiest Governor. So I did unlock T4 for my stable there for my calves. So we're going to be building calves. I've got T4 slow building for infantry right now. So going to pop that on the building day. I'm going to finish. So what my tech looks like right now is I maxed out Inf and Horsemen's so far. Need to go back and finish my Archers and Ballistas, Pathfinding, March Speed. So we're going to, yeah, I need to talk about March Speed. Need to finish this out here. I did get scales to 4, so a lot of development left to do on the account, but I'm just going to unlock the T4 troops first, and then probably come back here and develop after I finish more of my econ tree. So we're coming up, as you can see, I've skipped a lot because I went straight for writing, then I've skipped forward, right, skipping a lot so I can max out my engineering and mathematics for the research speed and the building speed. This is just gathering speed. This is just gathering speed, right? Troop load, more gathering speed, more gathering speed. So yeah, one of the big things about the differences between ROK and Call of Dragons is your march speed on the map. March speeding on the map is so slow. Oh, maybe it gets better. Maybe it gets better once you start getting like these maxed out. More march speed. Like march speed is so crucial. Now I know when I watch a Chiskel game, like video, like I totally understand why everything's just about march speed when you're doing talent points. When you're doing talents, you're like, I just want to get march speed. And it is so crucial, because if you're diving in and out of battle, anything that you do, march speed seems so low. Like in Call of Dragons, I'm typically like, now that you're towards like the end game, when you start getting into SOS, especially for infantry, I don't put like any march speed on infantry. Like if they have base in their kit, great, like Skogel. But out in here in ROK, like march speed, no wonder, like Omniarch, I think is the other big YouTuber that I've been watching a lot of. Like when they talk about endgame commanders, like obviously I don't have any, I just started, right? But when they're talking about endgame commanders and why some commanders aren't holding up into the game, and it's just simply due to march speed, like you could totally understand. You could totally understand why, like, commanders in the early game just don't hold any weight getting into the late game because of issues with march speed. So, yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. So, yeah, that's how the account's developing. What else? Oh, I can go over my commanders right now. So, I've got my Minamoto to level 44 so far. I've kept my double C at level 40. Not sure if I will. I might try and max them out. I might try and star him out for KVK1 and KVK2. Apparently he's going to fall off for KVK2 though. But they do have a resurgence that happens a lot sooner in the game. We already actually had it. Is it still here? Yeah, right here, reset commander. So Wild Frontier has already happened. So because of how often it happens in this game, I was like, double C, actually maxing him doesn't sound so bad if I can just reset him later on in the game when he drops off. And I was like, early game, double C is actually kind of nice because we're getting that Cav March speed, Cav attack bonus, Rage gained. So I'm going to put the double C with my Minamoto for KVK1. And right now, because like at first I was holding all my keys, I was holding all my gold keys, and I just spent them all to get CC. So what I was initially doing was I was like, I'll hold them till all these other commanders come out, right? But then I was looking through these commanders, and I was like, who do I want? Mehmed, maybe Mulan. I heard Ragnar Sogs, like maybe El Cid. You know, maybe I can use Freddy earlier. Charles Martel, I'll maybe look to get him on the Mightiest Gov event if he goes there. I believe after the first 4 he goes there. Like Julius Caesar's considered one of the worst champions in the game. So I was really like, this is kind of underwhelming. And then it spreads, like it spreads where the keys land. When I was like double C, I'm guaranteed to get double C every legendary that I get. So I was just like absolutely key pulling it. I did like 500 key pulls or something like that. And that's how I got my double C to 555 so far, and then a 3. So I was like, okay. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit to awaken him still, but let's do that. Then I was looking at commanders, and like, I hear everything. Everybody talks about how good Bybars is for Season 1, and I was like, but then I was looking at, like, this guy, Pelagus, or whatever his name is, and I was like, rage gained 100. Now, I know here there's a max amount of rage that you can gain per turn, but popping him, and I'll show you this in a second, with
title, but in deeds, a king.
Fled, I can't remember how you pronounce your name. Got not a clue. Let's just put the March speed on there. Ethelfled, there we go. With Ethelfled, then once I get this to level 5, it's going to be dealing a bunch of damage and in an AoE. So I can chain it faster by getting the extra, by capping the rage gain per turn. Because if, let's say, I gain 120 rage per turn and the cap's 100, well, that doesn't matter because at least I'm capping it rather than gaining 80 rage per turn. So I have taken some talents where I'm getting the extra rage gain. So it's not going that hard right now, but I think later having a rage generator type commander seems really good. And I'm utilizing that in Sunset Canyon right now, where I'm barely squeezed out first place so far. I still do have one more challenge left of the day. Yeah, I got my Path of Vengeance. I just left this one, I was AFK, and I got up to 775 so far on that. Expedition, I can't beat 40 yet because I don't have enough troops, because I'm waiting until troop day to spend any of my troop stuff, but we could see it. Is this the one? Yeah, so I am running because I'm running China, and China, like, to me, everyone says to start with China at first because it just makes sense. So commander that you get the Sun Tzu, which he gets this AoE damage. So I'm utilizing Sun Tzu with he gets a little bit of rage gen, I think. Yeah. For every enemy troop hit by this skill, commander generates 50 rage. So I am using that with Joan of Arc right now. Hopefully I can awaken her, just because then it gets 4 seconds. Because right now it's only 2 seconds, so that's not really ideal. But yeah, so I'm doing this buffing thing. So that's what I've kind of theory grafted with what I've got early game. So I can actually, yeah, we can. So that's what I've got. I've got the Sun Tzu, Joan, and you can see it's doing crazy amounts of kills and damage with, it's like up there with the Minamoto double C. So, yeah, then I've got, That's just a gathering hero, and he just, the Born, not Born. I gotta learn all the new names and all these different heroes. Like, it's not doing anything, but it's just because he's level 5. Like, he's got skill 5. He's just a level 1. So, whatever. They're there just to buy time. And then this isn't popping off right now, but you can see with her skill only being level 1, doing fan AoE, it's still getting me 50k kills. So, like, it's almost as powerful as their Joan Sun Tzu, and it's level 1. Okay, so, yeah, so I think there is merit to this pairing so far in what I'm doing. I have beat, like, for example, Bloody R. He was the top player, and now it's Loki. But you can see that Bloody R attacked me, and just absolutely my son in this rendition. Oh no, that's Bloody R's. Yeah, this is mine. Like, you could see this. Look at my Ethelfled with the P guy. It just did 80k kills. Like, that matched his Minamoto. That nearly matched his Minamoto double C, just because of the rage regen, and that's only level 1 skill. This did over 100k, and then this did 118. So that's what I am popping off for right now. I'll show you my defense that I'm running. I just switched up my defense to running this. So I do have Gladius, my Gatherer hero, just as a tank for my Minamoto. Then my Minamoto comes in and just crushes. I have put Sun Tzu behind. When I play offense, I switch them. And I've been running this on offense. Actually, this has been my offense. And then my Sun Tzu P are doing mass amounts of AoE damage in the center, where my Minamoto just cleans up everyone with a single target damage. And then my Gatherer is just there to buy time until these heroes come down and just wipe out all of their armies. So that's how I'm playing my attack right now, is using my Sun Tzu and P with all the AoE damage that I can, just to do a bunch of AoE damage. Then I use my Minamoto on whatever side needs to be done to do single target damage. I don't know what the meta is for late game, but from being just a Call of Dragons player, this is kind of what I've been kind of cooking up there for. Yeah, I don't want to save it for play, so I can go and smack that guy again. I smacked him twice already today, just to drop him a bit, like. But yeah. So that's development on my account so far. Now we're going to get into the drama. So what ended up happening is I woke up, was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday. And we're all in IPX. IPX was the top #1 alliance, and 90% of all the players got kicked from IPX. Okay. So where did all of these players go? Most of the players went and joined DV-A. So that's where Bloody R and the rest of them went to. So we'll go here, we'll go rankings, alliance powers. So I ended up joining Delta Force, and I had already been talking to one of their R4s, and they're like, "Why are you talking to me?" And I was like, "Just keeping the door open." So yeah, they ended up getting alliance members. So yeah, Bloody R, all of these guys. So they all went to there, to Divine Angels, and that's where the old IPX is now. Delta Force, I ended up joining them. Alliance members, we have Loki is the new top member. And then I'm just sitting there at my measly 4 million power. And then there's DR40, which DR40 was one of the top alliances day 1. Now, I did end up joining DR40 day 1, and then got kicked by Hassan. And then once I hit rank 3 in individual power, I was rank 3 after day 2 or something like that. Hassan was like, "Come and join me," and I was like, "No." And I was like, "No thanks, but thanks for the offer." And I was like, "But you kicked me." He was like, I didn't kick you. That must have been one of the R4s. And I showed him the mail of it saying that he kicked me. And he's like, oh, I slipped. I didn't mean to kick you. It was somebody else I was trying to kick, and I accidentally kicked you. But then you could have re-invited me to the Alliance, and you didn't. And this is like in the middle of me trying to power up. And that's one of the things that I don't really understand is how much kicking happens day one, because it's like I'm waiting to get the helps, right? You get the helps. I'm waiting to get the helps, and then, because then I use less speed ups overall, right? The helps, then I use less speed ups. So, yeah. So that's kind of why I joined DF, I was like, well, I'm not joining DR40, and then DVA wasn't fully established when I joined DF. DF has had a bit more activity than the members of DVA, but still it's only about 19 members online, so not necessarily 100% ideal all the time. There are whispers of a civil war. I don't know how much of that's going to be true, because we are in the same zone as DVA. I don't know if there's been an alliance made between us, but we can easily go for that gate. They can go for that gate, and then we can easily fight DR40. I know everybody's like, wars. Everybody's telling me that in this game, war in your season 1 is really bad. Before KVK 1, war's really bad, but I would rather migrate out than join DR40 at this point in time, just because, like, Hassan could have just said to me, hey mate, like, I mean, sorry for kicking you, like, your power was low at the time, and we were just trying to give the spots to higher power players. Okay, be honest. Don't be like, oh, that was another R4, and then when I prove it wrong to him, then he makes up another excuse. Like, don't make excuses, just tell the facts as it is. Being like, yeah, your power was too weak, you needed to bolster it up, so we kicked you. Okay, right? So, yeah, that's just why I ended up joining DF. Now, the whole thing about us losing the Alliance was blamed, and the reason I'm bringing up DR40 is everything was blamed on DR40. A member of DR40 apparently got R5 of IPX and then started kicking everyone. But something doesn't add up to me. One, how did they end up getting R5? And then 2, well, yeah, that's just, actually, there's no 2 point. Just 1, how did they end up getting R5? So in Call of Dragons, if you do not log in for a certain period of time, it auto goes to an R4 that's logged in within the last, whatever, few days. And then if it doesn't go to if there are no R4s, then it goes to an R3, R2, R1. And that's how it works. So that's how some players just get access to some of these alliances, R5s. It's just because the R5 hasn't logged in for X amount of days. So that could have happened. But one thing that I want to point out here is IPX and Go Alliance members, it's Natsu. Natsu 4002. This is what doesn't make sense to me. Because Natsu is someone that I was talking to about migrating. So migration in this game, from my understanding, migration opens up 10 days after a kingdom opens up, which is really weird because in Call of Dragons it happens at the end of the season, not at the beginning of the season. So, and from what I've been told, and I've been trying to ask questions about this, but people are really reluctant to answer, as long as I stay under 10 million power, I can get to migrate. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to push in this Mightiest Lord, just because I want to stay under the 10 million power, and I want to see how the kingdom shapes up, whether I should migrate out or not. Because the thing that doesn't make sense to me is, why would the person, because Natsu was there when I logged in as the R5, so it could have been that, so I'm not sure if Bran gave Natsu R5 and then everybody got kicked, or if Bran didn't log in for a certain amount of time and then this Natsu ends up getting R5 and everybody gets kicked. What ended up happening is they promoted someone else, a farm, and the farm used Bloody R's name. It was like Bloody R Farm Z or something like that, and then kicked everyone. So everyone thought it was Bloody R. So the person that I was playing with, Individual Power, Bloody R, everyone thought it was Bloody R that was kicking them, but it wasn't. He didn't kick anybody. So, but the thing that makes all of this strange to me, if I go settings, I go characters, I ended up having to make another character at Kingdom Hall 18. I did just Germany here. Because I was talking to 4001 about migrating there. And if you go rankings, Alliance Power, the Rumbling, Alliance Members, Natsu. So Natsu, he just changed his profile picture, but it was the exact same profile picture as this one here. And the reason I had to make a Kingdom Hall 18 is because I kept asking them for the Discord, because they kept wanting me to join. I had Bran and Natsu were talking to me about migrating to 4001 to join the Rumbling. And I was like, oh, okay, that's actually pretty interesting. That's pretty cool. You guys actually have a Discord. You're more set up, right? So this is their Kingdom Power right now. They've got 2 at 10 mil. So I was like, oh, okay. So that's how I got the Discord, was because they weren't giving me the Discord. So I joined the Discord here, the Rumbling. So that's why I created a guy Kingdom Hall 8 here. But I've already been talking to Natsu, so that's what didn't make sense to me, is why did the story that everyone's been peddling is that the R5 Natsu, with the same profile picture at the time, because I'd been talking to him, that's the reason I made this connection, is because I'd been talking to him as a recruiter from 4001. But they're saying this Natsu is a farm account from DR40. So I'm like, if that is the Natsu from 4001, it doesn't make sense to kick us all out, because Bran, who was the R5, so Bran, who was the R5, was trying to recruit us all to go to 4001 anyways, to migrate there anyways. So it doesn't make sense to kick us out. And so I guess that person plagiarized the real Natsu? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how all of that came to be. Like I said, I was sleeping. I'm just saying the story that's being peddled doesn't 100% add up to me. That it was a player from DR40 that ended up getting control of our alliance and then killing it. Which, I mean, could be. We could have all just they could have been kicked and then we could have all just rejoined. But since Bran's no longer the R5, so yeah, he could have been High King, but he, like I said, he was recruiting us all to go to 4001. So I am part of the Discord. I have put an application in there to migrate there. But yeah, what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting to see, before I make a decision, I'm waiting to see what happens if there is a civil war. Do we fight with DVA? Do we make an alliance with them? Do we make an alliance with DR40? Because these are the 3 top alliances right now. It seems like we're all split. I haven't seen any marker. Allies DA02. And allies, DVAC. So, yeah, we'll see what happens and how this turns out. But yeah, just a bunch of drama. So yeah, that's how I got into DF right now. I was like, I'll just play on the side for right now. So we'll push Mightiest Governor. I'm just gonna push a bunch of calves and then do my academy and building for the other days of Mightiest Gov that allow it, because apparently this Mightiest Gov is 6 days, so it's different from Call of Dragons. yeah, maybe I'll make a video on some of the differences that I've noticed right now, like I talked about the March speed earlier. But I've rambled for long enough, so thanks for watching.
The exile gods screaming from the edges of the dark.